Good morning, Substack, and good morning, Curious Spirits. Thank you for joining me. I am coming in a little bit later than what I'm trying to make my usual because I had a very long weekend driving back and forth to Detroit for the Detroit Conjure and Folk Magic Festival. So I'm a little worn out. What started off as teaching a class on connecting with and reviving neighborhood spirits turned into a class on how corporate egregores can impact mobile home parks. So there was a lot of quick thinking on my feet and a very different kind of magic. So thank you so much for coming in. If you're not familiar with me, I'm Diana Rachel. I am the voice behind The Spirited Witch, Practical Living for Spooky People. And I have been starting to do these since this summer, these weekly community tarot pulls, where this is kind of the overarching guidance comment from spirit or whoever from the Universal Peanut Gallery about what we need to know this week or what we're looking into this week. I am a little bit different from some online tarot readers in that I will read inversions. And again, I don't have the capacity to sugarcoat. I wouldn't know how if I tried, and I'd be so worried about doing someone a disservice by doing so that I'd rather someone be a little bit mad at me for telling the truth as far as I can understand it. So what I pulled for this week is The Lovers Inverted. So I pregame so you don't have to listen to me talk a lot of stuff while I shuffle. So the Lovers in tarot is not necessarily about romantic love, although, I mean, when you look at these images, most of these images have some intertwining. It is really about how oppositional forces can pair or how people bring their values together. And since this is a reading for the collective, for the community that crosses my path, often what the lovers is either about making a decision or commitment or not making a decision or commitment. And what I'm getting is that there are a lot of things right now that look like they're set in stone, but behind the scenes, people are not actually decided. So when the lovers inverted comes up and you are looking at any kind of communal situation that impacts anything you're doing. It could be like City Hall has decided to do some work on the sewers or, figuring out where people are going for Thanksgiving, where it looks like everybody's going to grandma's. Oh no, it's Aunt Ada's. And this is a time to go, okay, I'm going to gently ask some questions about this. And it is very important right now. We just had a second eclipse. I don't know anyone who has not had some kind of interpersonal volatility, including myself. And so, again, gently does it is the way, because a lot of things where people project is because people think that being decisive, being firm is a form of strength. And sometimes it is, but there is more strength in being flexible. So if something is too inflexible, it's brittle and it snaps. But if something is flexible enough, it may sway in the wind and it can adapt to things, but it also survives because it's not going to snap. It's going to bend and reshape and continue to be part of the ecosystem that it's part of. And yes, as a city priest, I actually I have a very broad view on what an ecosystem is. And when I'm doing community readings, it is about the whole community, the grass, the ground, the trees. Those are your neighbors too. The land itself and the water source itself should be the final authorities if you have to have them. So what we're looking at here is what's going on where it looks like there's a final decision being made where somebody doesn't really know and secretly they're not actually that sure of themselves. And so gently asking questions will go a very long way towards going, without doing the "are you sure?" because that can be triggering, is so, hey, how did you approach this? Hey, what is your reasoning? What is your reasoning is a really good one, especially since you may kind of know that things may not be as they seem, that the decision may not be as firm as it's appearing to be. And so when you ask that way, someone doesn't feel attacked and it actually gives them an opportunity to be collaborative without giving up the illusion of authority that's been conferred upon them. So when you're seeing this come up, especially if you're looking at, okay, is someone committed to this job? Is someone committed to this project? If not, it's the, okay, so you're saying you're doing this. Are there any needs we haven't discussed yet? Is there any other approaches that you would be open to exploring? And so on. So that's what I've got for today. I'm not sure that you guys are able to comment to me directly, but feel free to share your comments and thoughts when this posts. And I will be posting a note with this as soon as I'm able. And for the people that are subscribed to The Spirited Witch, every time I do this, I end up sending out an email that night with the tarot card and a quick write-up and keywords that you can use for developing your own tarot practice if that's what you want to do, along with the transcript for people that have hearing impairment or that just really like to see everything down in writing. So that's what I've got for everybody today. Thank you so much for spending the time with me. I'm so glad to see people showing up for this. Stay magical. And, if you want to share, please share. If you want to comment, please comment. It does everything in the world for me when I see some interaction on these. So have the best week you possibly can this week. And remember to control the controllables. And you may not be able to do anything about the great big world outside, but there's always at least one good thing you can do that impacts your life, your family, your work, your health immediately. Even if it's just drinking enough water today. Stay magical, everyone.